Hi there, Mrs. Ortiz. We are going to cover Objective 1.2, which is notes on congruence versus equality for geometry honors. So congruence or congruent is probably a new word for you, and then hopefully you're very familiar with equal or equality. So what is the difference between congruence and equality? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So congruence means that you are talking about two figures that are the same, all right? So congruence means same figure. So congruence means same figure. And it can also be same parts of a figure, okay? So it can also be parts of a figure. So let's say, or part of a figure. And we're really gonna dig into this in this video, so we're just going to leave it at that for right now. Okay. Well, equality means, or if two things are equal, it means that they have the same measure. So same measure. And right now that probably feels like, really, what's the difference between the two of them? But there actually is a difference. So we'll see if we can understand that by the end of these notes. That is the goal. So the big idea, before we even get into more talk on congruence and quality, we need to understand what parts in geometry even have measures. So if you think about the 1.1 notes and all of the things that were on that list, points, lines, planes, parallel planes, skew lines, etc., 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 what are the two things, there's only two, that we can actually measure? And the two things we can actually measure are segments and angles. Okay, so from here on out, for the rest of this unit, we are really only going to focus on segments and angles because they're the only things that we can measure. All right, now there's lots of segments in different parts of things, and that's where we get into later in the semester. But we can only measure segments and angles, so that's what our focus becomes. So we measure the length of segments in a variety of units. That would be like centimeters, meters, miles, right? The list goes on and on, using a ruler. So the tool that we use is called a ruler. That's where it all started. We measure angles in a unit called degrees, which you're familiar with, using a protractor. That is the tool that we use to measure angles. Now, if you're taking Algebra 2, you'll also learn about radians, and that's another unit that you can measure angles in. But for geometry, we are going to stick with measuring angles in degrees. Okay, so you just need to understand those are the only two things from what we learned in the previous lesson that we can actually measure, and what tools you use to do that. So let's go back to this idea of congruent versus equality. So one of the things I need to introduce you to is that we say that two figures are congruent, or that they have congruence. That's the language. And the symbol for congruent is an equal sign with a tilde on top. So it's an extra fun equal sign. And then you know that an equal sign looks like that. Okay, so congruence is a relationship of having same shapes and sizes, such as segments, triangles, and geometrical figures. So it's having the same shape and size, okay? Whereas equality is a relationship of having the same size, but it's also, it's a measure, right? So we should really add that it's as a measure, such as lengths, widths, and heights. So if you think about like two hexagons, we don't look at two hexagons that are exactly the same and say that those two hexagons are equal. And so that's where we introduce this new word that's going to be very important for geometry. And we say that two hexagons instead are congruent, meaning that they have the same size and the same shape. We could take one hexagon and put it exactly on top of the other, and those hexagons become equal. Okay, so hexagons don't have measure, so that's why we say that they are congruent. I think I just said they're equal, but I meant congruent. Okay. Now, with that being said, if you're thinking about two hexagons, maybe you're thinking about the side length of a hexagon, and so we would call that a side. And maybe the two side lengths are the same, and they have a length of 6 meters. Okay, we have two hexagons with side lengths of 6 meters. We can say that those sides are equal. Okay, all right, so let's look at these examples and see if we can understand this a little bit more. It says the second image is a copy of the first image. So in each of these 4 examples here, the images are exactly the same. Determine if the objects described are congruent or equal. So in number 1, it says, look at the triangles. So if we look at these 2 triangles and they're exactly the same, would we say that these triangles are equal or are these triangles congruent? Because they are figures, we say that these triangles are congruent. Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to write. The triangles are congruent. Okay. In number 2, it asks us to look at the heights in the triangle. So again, we have 2 triangles that are exactly the same. And if we're looking at the heights, these heights right here, okay, they have measures and the measures are the same. So 7 meters and 7 meters. So we would say that the heights of the triangles are equal. So in this case, the heights, because they have measure that is the same, are equal. Okay. In number 3, we're looking at these 2 circles. And in these 2 circles, we have a measurement. It tells us to look at the radii, and we have a measurement of 2 centimeters for each radii. So these radii have measures that are the same. That would be equality. So the radii is plural for radius, by the way. So the radii are equal. Okay. And in number 4, we have 2 segments that are the same, and we don't have any kind of length or measure, so we would say the segments are congruent. Okay, so that's the idea behind congruence versus equality. So congruent figures are the same, and equal figures means that they have a measure that is the same. Okay, so new vocabulary for you. Now, when you look at 2 triangles, like if we look at our 2 triangles here, we can't just look at them and assume that they are exactly the same. Okay, so there are going to be some indicators that tell us if 2 things are congruent or equal. All right, so we're only going to talk about segments and angles again, because those are the 2 measurable parts in terms of congruence and equal. Okay, so if we, so we're going to focus on segments for this part of the table. And if 2 segments are congruent, okay, so we need to draw in 2 segments, and we'll call this segment AB and this segment XY. Okay, and if you draw them and you just look at them, they look like they might be the same, but we can't know for sure unless it's indicated. So the indication is called a congruence mark. And what a congruence mark is it's just a little tick mark in the middle of the segments, and it tells you if they have a corresponding number of tick marks that those 2 segments are congruent. Now, if this one has 1 tick mark, if AB has 1 tick mark and XY has 2 tick marks, that is not a corresponding number of tick marks, so we cannot say that those are congruent. But if they both have 2 tick marks or they both have 1 tick mark, then we have the same number of congruence marks to know that they are congruent. So since AB and XY both have 2 tick marks, we know, okay, that is the indication that segment AB is congruent to segment XY. Those 2 segments are the same shape and size, okay? Now to write about that, congruence has a very specific notation. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a notation for line segment, and we're going to say segment AB is congruent to, with the congruent symbol, segment XY. Okay, so remember that segments are congruent. Now, when we think about equality, we don't say that segments are equal. We say that segments have equal length. Okay, so that's a little bit different. So when we look at equal segments, we might have a segment AB, and maybe it has a length of 10 miles. Okay, and then we have another segment, like on a map, XY, and it also has a length of 10 miles. So because these two segments are marked with the same length, they are equal. And the notation looks a little bit different than that. So now we say the length of AB is equal to the length of XY. So if you notice, we use an equal sign, and there is no notation above AB and XY. Okay? So this is going to be very, very important and critical. So this is probably going to be an important page of notes to refer to until this becomes more natural for you. Okay, so let's take a look at angles. So let's see here. If we go over to our angles, okay, because the two measurable parts of geometry are segments and angles. And if we want to talk about congruent angles, so angles that are the same shape, they're exactly the same. So let's just call this angle A, and we'll call this angle, we'll try to repeat it best we can, X. Okay, if these two angles are the same, we don't necessarily know what they measure, but they are the same, then to know that they're congruent, our notation, okay, our marks, our congruence marks are arcs this time. And just like segments, you have to have a corresponding number of arcs that are the same to know that two angles are congruent. So in this case, angle A is congruent to angle X. Suppose when I looked at an image, I saw something like this, where angle A has two arcs and X only has one, then those angles cannot be assumed to be congruent. They might be, but we would need a lot more information to be able to show that, okay? So if we look at a picture and maybe it has two arcs like that, then again, we can know that those angles are congruent. So notation for congruent angles looks like this. So we're going to use our angle notation. So angle A, and again, is congruent to angle X. Okay, so that's what congruent notation looks like for angles. Now, if two angles are equal, then they have the same measure. So let's just draw an angle A, and we'll say that this is 104 degrees. And we're going to draw an angle X. And this is going to be 104 degrees. Okay. And now because we know the measures of both of these angles and they are exactly the same, we can say that these two angles are equal. Remember that measures are equal, so in our notation looks different. We see the measure of angle A equals the measure of angle X. Okay, now if you were to put a little M sign on the congruence, that would be incorrect notation, right? Or if you were trying to say that angles were congruent and you put an M with the little congruence tilde, again, that is incorrect notation. All right, so there are the different types of notation for congruence and equality for angles and segments. All right, let's take a look at these examples. Okay, at any point along the line, I would really encourage you to, whenever you think you're comfortable, stop the video, try the examples on your own, and then check your answers and see how you did. Okay, so the examples say determine whether each statement is acceptable. If not, explain why. So in this first one, we have angle ABC is equal to angle STU. Okay, now this is not an acceptable answer. Okay, so we're going to say no, no way. We're not going to make that mistake because these are talking about the angles and angle notation. So these angles have to be congruent. Okay, if they were equal, they would have to have those little M's. So this notation does not show measure, right? The little M's. So it should be angle ABC is congruent to angle STU. Or you could say it could be the measure of angle ABC is equal to the measure of angle STU. Okay, so either way, something was forgotten, either the tilde for the congruence or the measure if they really were equal. All right, so number 6, we've got the segment length VW equals segment length VY. And this is correct. This looks good. Okay, so if it's an equal sign, remember we're talking length, and to indicate length, there is no notation above. Okay, so for length, there is no notation. So that's correct. Okay, and number 7, we have a segment length PR is congruent to segment length GH. So again, no notation, so that would mean length, but we have this congruent symbol here. So that's not correct, okay? If this is congruence, then we need the notation above PR and GH. So this is missing notation, and it should be PR with a segment is congruent to GH. Or again, it could be if they're equal, no notation above PR and GH with an equal sign instead. Okay, let's take a look at number 8. So number 8 says the measure of angle 5 equals the measure of angle 8. All right, and this one looks good because if it's equals, we're talking measure, and we have our measure symbols with the M for the angles. So that looks good. In number 9, we have segment GH is congruent to segment CD, and this also looks good. So for congruence, we need to have the segments, and that is correct. Okay. And then lastly, number 10, we have segment GH is equal to segment JK, and this is incorrect because we should have, so it's missing the congruence, right? Because we do have the notation for segment GH and JK. So it should be segment GH is congruent to segment JK. Okay, so these take a little bit of practice, but I'm confident you're going to get it down. And just make sure that you have these notes for reference. If you go back to today's essential question, remember that we were trying to learn the difference between congruence and equality. So if you don't feel like you can answer that at this point, then you probably need to review this video a second time. Have a great day.